Welcome to yet another TLDR, nice and easy tanking guide for Aberrus the Shadowed Crucible LFR. In this video I will talk to you about the second boss of LFR Wing 1, the Amalgamation Chamber. Amalgamation Chamber is just up ahead after the first boss. If you stick to the left pathway, to the left corridor, kind of weaving around the central area of Aberrus the Shadowed Crucible. There are two bosses that tanks will pick up, the Shadow one and the Fire one. And in normal raid you would need to normally separate them, apparently, but in LFR you can just bring them together and cleave them down for max DPS output until they join into one boss kind of thing. They amalgamate, go figure, at about 50% of health when you continue your burn. It's a stack and burn strategy. That's about it. It's very straightforward, but here is a little bit more detail if you would like to survive. The Shadow boss will put a swirly on the ground periodically that would be ideally soaked to reduce the AoE explosion. It does if not soaked, but I've seen plenty of people just ignore it. During the first phase it's fine to ignore in LFR. Shadow boss will also mark players with umbral detonation mark, which, you know, go figure, you need to run out of the raid as it leaves a circle on the ground behind you that you shouldn't stand in unless you're a masochist. Fire guy will do swirling flame wave, which should be ideally dodged, but I don't think you're gonna die if it hits you. When they merge into Shadowflame Amalgamation, things ramp up a little bit in damage output. It starts doing a cone attack in front, which is called Shadowflame Burst or something like that. It hurts and shouldn't be ignored, and you shouldn't stand in it. And then there is also Gloom Conflagration Circle Swirly. That is a much bigger, much more dangerous swirly that needs to be soaked absolutely. Or it will do a really massive AoE that's much harder to ignore for your healers. Yeah, and they will hate you if you're ignoring it. If people don't help soak, some of you might die. And I personally may or may not have fallen victim to this mechanic myself. Blistering Twilight Mark also leaves burning circles on the ground. That should be taken, you figured it out, to the edges of the room to give you more space to maneuver in between. Overall, harder boss than the first one. Kazzara definitely harder one, but still feels quite easy, to be honest with you, and I quite enjoyed it. And I hope you have enjoyed this video, so please give this a like and do watch my other videos that tell you more about the other bosses of Aberrus the Shadowed Crucible LFR. I thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.